Thank you. A very good afternoon to every one of you. My name is Fong, and I'm from the School of Educational Studies in Universiti Sains Malaysia, located in Penang, West Malaysia. This project, ePronounce, is an ongoing research project. I'm the head of the project, and you can see actually this is a synergy of different expertise coming in. So early childhood, because this is to learn how to pronounce correctly using phonetic symbols. So I have speech therapies and phonetics and phonologies and so on there. Let's see whether this one works here. So just have a look for a moment.
Daddy, let's watch TV.
Okay.
Oh no!
Watch TV and have a barrel of fun. Watch the TV? You can't do that.
The serious implication of mispronunciation. Just an example. Now, in Malaysia, let me state some of the problem statement here, because once again, this is an ongoing research project. So, pronunciation difficulties in the context of a non-native English-speaking environment, particularly Malaysia, is multiracial. Okay? So, we have different cultural backgrounds and native languages among our students. And there's a tendency to use the intonation and phonological processes from their mother tongue. You know, the Chinese, the Indians, the Malays, the Ibans, we pronounce similar words, but in many different ways. Okay? There's also the problem of a high teacher-student ratio, and due to these, students do not have adequate time to practice pronunciation in the formal class condition. In the formal classroom condition, moreover, learners are reluctant to practice their pronunciation because when they practice, they speak, they make mistakes, they're embarrassed, they get intimidated. And once again, the human teacher, like every one of us, we are very limited in our patience in helping students pronounce correctly. Example, the word chore starts with CH, okay? So if a student look at CHORAL, then they probably will pronounce as choral. But if you know phonetic symbols, then you know that it should be choral. In other words, you know, we cannot just rely on written letters to pronounce English words. I do not know whether in India you face this difficulty, but in our Malaysian environment, this is a problem. So we also found from our need analysis that the phonetic symbols actually is in the printed dictionary, is in the mobile devices, you know, but the usage, people are not clear on actually how to use it to help them pronounce correctly. So in our project, you know, this is not the title of the talk here is concerning pedagogy first and technology second. So we find that we wanted to have something to bridge the language divide. We want to support the new Malaysian primary school standard curriculum in Malaysia. In the last 2 years, we have a new curriculum where we emphasize the use of English, and we recognize that we need to bring in the phonetic symbols. So this is one of the projects to help support actually the initiative. We find that we want just-in-time learning. We want it to be student-centered, we want it to be self-paced, self-access, we want there to be active engagement, and some kind of a sense of ownership by the students. We want it to be user-friendly across generations. We do not want the young children to be bored with this particular ePronounce. We want it to be rapid prototyping development of contents for different levels, you know, meaning that this project actually got two parts. One is where we wanted to design and develop a learning management system that's able to support the use of phonetic symbols in learning pronunciation. Other than that, we hope that maybe our LMS could also support different languages learning. So it might be complex, but we hope there's some kind of a simplicity in this complexity. And probably, maybe even providing a local solution for this global problem. Mispronunciation, I believe, is a universal problem. So the objective with pedagogy first and then technology second is to have this multimedia pronunciation, LMS. On one hand for content development, and on the other hand, probably also for other languages. So we want it to be pedagogy first, technology second, so we bring in theories, we bring in evidence from research-based design and development to be incorporated within our development. We want to have an interactive web-based recording with real-time playback. We want to be able to record the recording by learners could be stored in their individual folders so that researchers, evaluators, teachers, could come and retrieve and evaluate them. We also want to make use of associate animation of phonetic symbols. If you've got time, I can illustrate, by certain visuals, we can support how actually certain phonetic symbols could actually be sounded. Flexible presentation modes to match individual learning styles. We also, from the place that I come from, Universiti Sains Malaysia, we emphasize the blue ocean strategies in whatever project that we might be involved in. So this matter about values of quality, equity, availability, accessibility, affordability, appropriateness are being considered and govern and regulate us in our project. We want it to be future-oriented, we need to be unique, it needs to be sustainable, it needs to make sense for humanity, it has a universality in terms of practicality and able to change in time. Curiosity-driven, people-focused, and industry-driven. And of course, ultimately, to empower the future talent enables the bottom billion to transform their socio-economic well-being. The theoretical framework framing our project, we have theories on language development in children, we have cognitive theory of multimedia learning, we have cognitive load theories coming actually to support the results of our study and also framing actually our project. And to make sure that our designs and developments conform to certain standards, we make use of instructional system design, where, for example, planning, design, development, there are a lot of very detailed regulating steps that we ought to comply with, and governed by standards, quality project management, as well as ongoing formative evaluation all the way. Okay. So, looking at the instruction system design, for example, then we define the scope, and we are using the International Phonetic Alphabet. There are different kinds of systems, but apparently this seems to be the most universal, and at least in Malaysia we make use of this. So we are applying the 44 sounds of the IPA that enable us to pronounce all kinds of words then. We also come up with flowcharts, on actually how students should go through our e-pronounce so that they could master the phonetic symbols. And how, for example, a particular phonetic symbols, what ought to actually comes along in activities so as to help them master the phonetic symbols. Let me see whether this works again. Okay. For example, this one is actually a symbol, and there is an animation of shh, for that particular one. It's not working here. Let me see if this one works. Okay, there's a link problem. So here, sample word pronunciation concerning our full-face narrator, a Malaysian lady, one of our phonetic experts in USM. Okay. And because this is part of our research, so we wanted to see, we came up with 3 modes, and we want to see actually how these interact with students that are of different learning styles, learning preferences. And we have feedbacks, for example, qualitative findings. Students love the recording and playback button, for example. They can listen to the narrator saying that particular word or particular phonetic symbols, and then they can record, they can play all in real time, okay? And with this model demonstration comparison, they are able to learn to actually repair themselves. Other than that, they can also record, play, and submit it, and it goes into their folder, and they can be used by researchers. Teachers found the e-pronounce to be very helpful in many different ways. Okay, and in terms of quantitative findings, not qualitative, quantitative, okay. Among the 3 modes, we find that the one with the narrator full face seems to be rather helpful. Somehow the gestures of the facial expression just support the way to pronounce correctly. This is the back end actually of our e-pronounce. So once again, it's a learning management system, and teachers actually could come in to resubstitute or build in their own repository for their students' need. For the urban school, for the rural school, for the remote schools, they have different needs. So teachers could easily come in to browse and put in, or maybe even to capture their own video and then just put it in. So it's able to actually build their own repository. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. If anyone should be interested to know further concerning this project, my email is over there. You can write to me and we'll be more than willing to share with you.